everybody, my name's Roger Richards and welcome to spiritualonline.org, and we're going on our little spiritual journey, and we're not quite sure exactly where we go, but we are going in, and then hopefully from within we can reach the heights of the great without. Okay, so we're never quite sure what content will come our way, but hopefully you're sitting in a nice place of ambience and will join in with us. Okay, so we're focusing on our breath and breathing in light. As we can imagine, we're breathing in light to the center of our head, holding our breath for a few moments. And then on the out breath, just, yes, releasing that little bit of astrality that may be in our auric field. We're going to do this, keep doing this repeatedly, breathing in light. Imaginatively, it's light. And we're drawing it into the center of our head, holding our breath for a few moments. And then on the out breath, again, just imagine you're releasing any anxiety, any frustration, any pent-up emotional deposits that are in your system, and trying to remove yourself from the earthly weighted emotions that are in our soul. So the more we can lift our soul from the emotions of our physical day-to-day life, the more free our soul is to embrace the higher spirit of ourselves and then of the cosmos. So just keep our breathing going a little bit more. And let's be breathing in light and holding our breath for a few moments. And on the out breath, you can start releasing and relaxing your physical body as well. So the muscles, particularly around your face, your jaw to begin with, and your eyes. And still breathing in light. And relaxing the muscles around your shoulders and neck, your arms and hands. On the out breath, next out breath, just relaxing our torso, our tummy area. It's amazing how much stress and tension can be built up without us even realizing it. We're letting it all go and breathing in light, divine light, permeated with cosmic wisdom. Again, on the out breath, relaxing and removing any more tension in our body. So our feet are heavy on the floor, our muscles are relaxed, just our skeletal system carrying our weight in its sleep. Now we'll open up the group because I like to connect directly with the spiritual world, so protect the space accordingly. Great Divine Spirit, we ask that you shine your light, your love, your presence and protection upon our group at this time. And though we are geographically spread across the earth, may we be united on the soul and spiritual planes. We give acknowledgement to the presence of our angels and archangels, our spiritual guides, and other divine celestial beings that work either directly with us or help to hold the space behind the scenes. Each of us come here for a slightly different reason or intention, so you can set your own intention now for this session. And I will set one generally on behalf of the group. Great Divine Spirit, we come here for our inner development, that we may lead and live our life with more understanding, more enlightenment, that we may learn our life lessons more fluidly and efficiently, and that we may live purposeful lives. In doing so, we may bring more light and wisdom, empathy and compassion into all of the worlds. Some of us come for learning, wisdom, knowledge, some for healing, some for spiritual connection, some for social connection. Whatever it is, may each of us receive what will help us on our soul pathway at this time. And we can also appeal to our gatekeepers to protect the physical space in which we sit and ask that only divine beings be permitted to send their impulses into our sacred space that serve only our highest good. So welcome, Marco. We're just just opened up the space and we're about to go through our chakra opening exercise. So with our eyes closed, we can imagine our sacred space around us, this beautiful sphere of light, like a bubble, just extending beyond our auric field. And using your own mind, your own mental projection, you are stating that this space is a sacred space where only high divine beings that serve only our highest good are permitted to enter in. And may we be protected from all other. This is a space, and project this with your mind, this is a space that is reverent, it is pure, it is holy, and it is conducive to the presence of our high spiritual guardians, and of course our angels. Now above your head, our crown chakra, and just imagine this beautiful presence of the divine coming down through the top of our head with impulses, dreams, thoughts, feelings. Just feel a little flow, imagine it or perceive it in your third eye if you can. But this beautiful amethyst flow coming down, and it extends not just into our head but right down through our body, out through the arches of our feet, and deep, deep down into Mother Earth. And it continues to travel through Mother Earth, and like a big lemniscate form, back up through the arches of our feet, back through our physical body, and back out into the wide cosmic space. And we are the bridge between heaven and earth. Now down to our third eye, beautiful deep blue vibration. And imagine inside your head, like on the inside of your forehead, like a movie screen, where you can see colours and movement and images, projections. And may all that we see and perceive be seen in clarity and in its full truthfulness. Imagine that you're actually breathing in through your third eye. And move down to our throat chakra. And a similar thing, just breathing in now spiritual wisdom into the words in which we speak. And may we have the strength to speak our truth in a way that is mindful of others. Beautiful turquoise vibration. Down to our heart center now. And on the in-breath, we're drawing in all the love of the cosmic world that we ordinarily feel very disconnected from, but it is right next to us, right with us, if only we were sensitive enough and awakened enough on a soul level to absorb it. But it is there, and you may be sensing and feeling it now. Wrap it around like a warm blanket of energy, and draw that blanket of energy deep, deep, deep into your being. And imagine it pouring in through your heart's center. And feel the connection with something much greater than you, something much different to the physical world. And now, like a beautiful drop of crystal divine energy in the center of your heart, your own divine spark of love and compassion. Imagine this is becoming brighter and brighter, and your own love frequency of compassion and connection shining not only through your own body but into your auric space, and your own love frequency shining into your sacred space as a sign of welcome for your spiritual helpers. Next, we move down to our solar plexus, a portal of beautiful yellow clear light. And I like to start on the out breath and be pushing out any perceptions other people have placed upon me, pushing it back out of my being. And on the in-breath, I'm drawing in more of my authentic self, that part of our higher self, which our being isn't quite able to incarnate fully yet. And imagine my higher self at the portal, and part of it is now able to stream through into the space of authenticity, giving me the strength and giving you the strength of standing in your own true light and being the real you, not the you that the material world may like you to be, but what your higher self had planned for you, what you had planned for you before birth. Down to our Sacral Chakra now, and again, I imagine on my out-breath, I'm just pushing back out any other, how would you say, feelings, emotions that don't serve my higher good, and drawing in connection, intellectual connection, empathetic connection with each of you and to the whole world, knowing that I'm protected and that which I connect with will only serve my highest good and nothing else. And down to our base chakra, and drawing in the enlivening life forces from the etheric world, beautiful vibration of bright red energy at your base. And imagine this is being drawn up through your spinal column. It's like the sap in the trunk of a tree, and sent out to every living part of your body, your physical body. And just like the leaves of a tree drawing in the light from the sun, the life force of our base chakra also enlivens us to more consciously draw in the light from above. Imagining now your whole body is more able to draw in light from above. The shimmering, like the shimmering light on the morning dew in the sunlight. Every molecule of your body shimmering and absorbing the light. And within the light is the memory and the capacity to heal, to rejuvenate, to replenish. Allow the flow, allow the new to come in and residue of the old to go out. Now, just asking our spiritual guides to harmonize and balance our chakra field. Just give you a couple of minutes to do that, and just be aware of anyone who's with you. In fact, you ask the question, see if you can connect with the guide and ascertain who could be helping you out, or who it is that they actually would like to be in your presence for the next hour or so. Okay, you stay in this zone for a moment. I've got something I'd like you to do. I actually was trying to connect with each of you one by one. I've just been given an impulse now. So I want you to imagine that you are outside of yourself, that you are like the outside world looking at you. So you're still sitting in your chair, but there's part of you that is now looking at you and observing you as if it were the outside world, the physical world, people around you. Now, without judgment, just observe from this third party position what you see and learn and observe about yourself. What can you tell about yourself from this outer source. As we are doing this, I will share just a couple of things that came to me, and I'll certainly invite you in a few moments to share anything you'd like to share. But when I observed myself, I saw a person who was of a very gentle nature, but someone who was incomplete in certain aspects, but the striving and the intention to progress was certainly there. Certainly a person who never means any harm but only good to everyone. But within each of us, such is the nature of our earthly experiences, that we have along our journey absorbed hurts, we've absorbed regrets and traumas of varying degrees which still reside within our being. And every now and then something can stimulate or trigger where we need to release that. And sometimes it may not be released in an ideal way. And therefore the mastery over our emotional self and our subconscious is a very important thing to work upon. That's what I can see. Just stay in this space for another minute or so. If anyone would like to share what they see, click on your microphone and please have the courage to share. And what I will also endeavour to do, if you wish, is to link in with the picture that you see. Anyone with a bit of courage would like to go and have a try? Okay, what we'll do, we will do some sharing in a moment, but I'll get everyone to come back into a more wakeful state. So just be aware again of where you're sitting. Be aware of your hands and your feet and your legs and your torso, and breathe yourself right back into your physical body. And have a sip of water when you're back. Have a little stretch if you like. And we shall do a couple of things. Just put that onto gallery. Take off my spotlight. Okay. So I'll check in with you first, Rani, because I was coming. I'd already went to someone else, and I came to you, and it was the instant connection with you that made me do that little visualization at the end. Was there anything that stood out for you in doing that?
What the sense that I was getting was that they were telling me that I needed to be more powerful, to come into more of my power. That's what I was getting a sense of.
Mm-hmm. And are you sort of aware of how you can do that, of how you can come to your power?
I feel like it's more to do in my relationship than in my outer life. It's more of I don't need that toxicity. How do you say that word? The
Toxicity.
toxic, exactly. That I know for myself, I must release that. It's like the last thing I must release. So many things I've released to this point, and it's like telling me, you got this. You're stronger than you know. But I feel like I'm still connected.
Hmm. I sort of,
Yeah.
it's a little bit like the analogy that I can draw here is that one of the favorite things I like to do during the day is to have a good coffee, a really, really nice one. And you can have a really
Me
good
too.
coffee, and I can be a really good coffee myself, but at the bottom you've got some of the percolated grounds, which you don't really want to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So it's distilling and purifying and removing those little grounds as well, so you can
Mm-hmm.
be but I think that's what makes us human as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do believe in what you just said as well, is that particularly the solar plexus pictures that we've been working with over the past probably a couple of months now, is to just keep doing it. And I believe that every time we do it, we incarnate, even if it's just another little morsel of our higher self. But I think our intention and the energy work that goes around it is enabling us to be more present, more here to do that. And I think for you to find, and this applies to me as well, and so I'm just speaking my truth here as well, to work in relationships, it's like you've got a breakthrough. It's like the first time that you can speak that truth that has been held back, but doing it in a very respectful way. It's presenting yourself, and it's like saying, my higher self is here, and this is who I am, and this is what's acceptable, and this is what's not.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps not
Mm-hmm.
that black and white, but that's
Mm-hmm.
what's being presented. And it's like you've got to almost push through the inhibitions of the old, of being a bit shy or a bit reserved or whatever. And once you've pushed through it, it's very hard to go back to the old inhibited self. It's like the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis, and it's pretty hard to go back. You just become the new. So I think that, hopefully that's a good, helpful picture for you, Roni.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Who would also like to share? Now, Angela, you're actually the first person I came to, because on my screen, you're right next to me. So I got a little something for you, but I just wanted to see from you first if you were able to get into that picture, and if anything came to you. And we don't have to go too personal here either, by the way. So
yeah, for sure. That was a great guided opening, by the way. Lovely energy. When you were asking us to step outside and look back at ourselves, I almost didn't see myself as a physical body. I saw this glowing kind of rainbow lights in almost this pattern, kind of swirling around a lot, but coming from a center point. And what I kept getting was my guides were saying, she can't see it. She can't see it yet. She can't see it yet. And I was like, okay. And then there was a lion, big, massive lion there. And he looked at me and he said, do not be ashamed of pride. Pride does not mean that you're arrogant. You should be proud of yourself. You fear being proud of yourself, of who you are and how far you've come, because you feel that it means you're being arrogant, but they're different, and you have to recognize the differences, because we're proud of you. So that's what I saw.
Look, and I've got the chills here, because I know what you've just said is a very much an objective truth. And it's like you had actually connected to one of your close spirit guides in saying that you almost stepped into their light to do what you just did. So you've spoken a very deep truth, I believe. Now, I had this picture of you before. It's like walking fairly straight, but on the top of a ridge line. And it's a little bit like you've been walking down the hill, you've been walking up, you've been going down the other side, you've been climbing over boulders and whatever, but now's the time just to walk on this ridge line. It's like you know the path, you can see the way, and just stop mucking around with it. You know, it's like the calling is now really calling you for whatever it is. All right.
Wow.
All right. So
that image of the mountain has been a very strong image throughout my journey the last few years.
Yeah.
I've got a beautiful mountainous piece of labradorite here that I have got, and it's the idea of climbing up, and the downs and the ups. But yeah, that's amazing that you said that.
All right.
Like and the stop mucking around part, like, come on, get to it, girl.
Right. Because you are no longer the mountain goat. You are and should be the queen of the mountain.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And again, it's not a seat, a high seat that you take with arrogance and conceitedness, but you can still take that seat on it with pride.
Yeah.
And with humility.
Yes.
Yeah. And then deliver what you need to deliver from this high place.
Awesome. Thank you.
And it's also a mountain as well, because it takes you physically above much of the lower vibration of the mundane world. And your part, it's more figurative, because the spiritual world is just as close down in the planes, but symbolically, you are partially above the workings of earth and partially connected to the heavens. So you can literally be the conduit between the two, not just for yourself, but for many people. All right. So
that resonates a lot with me, with what I've been going through lately. Definitely.
So it's just time to go, girl.
Yeah. Spread your wings and fly.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Would anyone else like to jump in and just share anything from that experience? Okay, well, Stephanie, you're next on screen. And you're allowed to pass, by the way, so don't feel pressured or whatever by me. But Stephanie, anything you'd like to put into the discussion?
I like you and sorry, I don't want to mispronounce. I saw a rainbow. I feel like it's been a big theme lately, and I felt that my guides were telling me that I need to love myself more. So there was definitely kind of hugging myself. I felt like the rainbows around in putting that a little bit inwards to myself. So that was, I guess, the big thing that I felt that I was receiving.
Okay, I've just got here. I know you just pick things up out of the corner of your eye physically, but there's still a little bit of your past that you need to let go of. It's sort of like a bit of a shadow that's there, and it's time to. Well, you can't erase memories, of course, but you can put things into a different perspective, into more, I've experienced that, I've learned from that, I've got the wisdom from that. I accept it and go through that kind of resolution and then put it away. It's like there's something that it's just like it's pulling you back a bit of resistance, but the rainbow is definitely there. And just this little thing that's holding you onto the foot of the rainbow, where you want to have complete freedom to start walking over the rainbow bridge and be able to walk to the other side and back at will. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I think you've got a pretty good idea what it is you need to work on. Now we can do a bit of that in these sessions. I'll try and get Guy to come on and do something with this. Actually, he's one of the locals here, and I reckon we can fix that up. And also, just for anyone else who's interested, I'm working on some things myself of a similar ilk, Stephanie, And there's a lady by the name of Liz Vincent, and she's a hypnotherapist in the UK who does regression therapy. And I've got a video link of her on my, she was actually a guest on here a couple of months ago. And if you want to check her out, she's on my YouTube channel, you'll find her there. And I'm finding, I had one session with her personally, and it has shifted a couple of really big things for me. So, and I'm seeing her again tomorrow. So I'll let you know how that goes as well. But I've got a little list of things that I've been working on for a long time, and I've overcome them to a certain degree, but there's still, you know, when it's really deep in your subconscious and you don't actually quite know what it is, sometimes it's hard to reach in there and fix it yourself. And sometimes you can actually reach it, but then what do you do when you reach it? You just bring it back and make it worse. So, you know, so that's where I'm at. So I'm just sharing that with you. Okay. Have you got, I don't know, this may not be you yourself, but I just got younger children around you, and I feel this might be extended family, but it's like there's younger children who come around you and they're sort of playing and they're quite happy and cheery. Can you place these children?
So yeah, I have twins, the 14-year-old, well, I guess they're 13 turning 14, that you might be picking up on.
Okay, they're pretty jovial, like in a nice kind of way. They're sort of fairly light in their manner.
One of them is, the other one is jovial, but
All right.
non-binary and is really struggling with acceptance, I think. So yeah.
All right. It's like there's a constriction in what I'm feeling in my chest here is it's hard for me to breathe emotionally, and it's hard for me to express and let things out. And I'm a little bit shy and a little bit protective of who I am. And what he really, I feel like this is the male one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the non-binary one, but I could see this in him too.
Okay, well, there's one of them, and they just need a little bit of one-on-one soft words from you. And I feel that it's going to be a one-way conversation. You're going to have to do all the talking, and you're going to have to find the words to actually reassure them that they're okay, that they can reach out, they can speak, they can be themselves without judgment. That may not be the case with some of their peers, but it should certainly be the case with you. All right. So you just got to reassure them that you were there and that you are listening and that you understand without judgment of when things get a bit tight or a little bit tricky, that you're there and they can talk to you. Okay. Now you might have to mention it a couple of times, but when you do it with the right vibration of emotion, it'll speak to their soul. If you just tell them intellectually, hey, look, if you're feeling da-da-da, come and talk to me, blah, 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 that doesn't resonate in the heart and the soul. So you've got to bring it to them in the right time. And I suggest just before they go to sleep, and they'll take it into their sleep and digest it, particularly if it's the last thing at night before anything else can come in and blow it away. Okay. All right.
Thanks.
I'll leave that one with you. Sherry, you're next on screen. Anything you'd like to share?
Just that I so far resonate a little bit with each person and their story. I know for me, when I looked down at myself, I could see that I'm in a little bit of a liminal space. There are some people that have shifted out of my life, and new people are shifting in. And instead of feeling grief around that, I understand that you know, on our journey, some people are supposed to be with us, you know, for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But just not attaching to stories or you know, diving into, you know, like what's happening with why we're drifting apart. Instead, just like understanding that You know, sometimes on our journeys, there are forks in the road, and you know, it's funny. I have this card sitting here. I don't know if you could see it. My friend's an artist and she made it. And you can see that she's on her path. She's on her way, and she's giving birth to something new. And I feel like that's the space that I'm in, and I'm actually pretty content with it.
Well, I was about to say to you, Sherry, that if I was sort of on a platform here doing readings for people in an audience, that I probably wouldn't come and read for you because I just don't feel you need it. And I just feel that, yeah, exactly what you just said, that you're in a pretty good space and everything seems to be kind of flowing for you. And don't need to mess with that. So it's just more, if anything, be just a message of reassurance. Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Because it's working for you.
Yes. Yes. And the rainbows. I also have been seeing a lot of rainbows lately. I have a crystal ball in my bedroom that I didn't realize last night, but I read before I go to bed. And I guess the way that the light was hitting it, it just made this huge rainbow on my ceiling. And I was like, wow, I feel like I'm kind of blessed by the rainbows as well. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of rainbows in a different way yesterday. I'm a bodyboarder and I get out in the surf here. It's pretty good surf at the moment. And when you go out, and if it's close to dawn or close to sunset when the sun's low and the big waves go past and the spray goes up, if you're in the right direction, you can see the rainbows in the spray every time a wave goes past. And yeah, so I was trying to do that last night, get myself positioned, not to catch a wave, but to see the rainbow. Different kind of surfer.
That's cool.
Yeah. Hey guys, did you surf the rainbows last night? All right. Okay. I think Marco, I think you're on screen next. Anything you'd like to share?
Well, the way it went for me is I seem to have a hard time. I was having a hard time looking down on myself. And yeah, for some reason I had to like go away and come back and go and keep trying, you know. And at the end, well, I don't know if it was the end, but you know, like, let's just say the last, not the last, before last image that happened was, it was pretty instant. And it's funny, you guys talking rainbows. I don't know, I haven't been seeing any rainbows, but in this instance, I saw like a rainbow coming out of my head.
Wow.
Just shooting up. I just thought, oh, okay, you know, have no clue what that is. But then I found it interesting. Maybe a few seconds after that, I saw like a big wall on my right, my right side, like a big wall, an oscillating wall, doing like this kind of thing. And it just kind of came so close to me from the side of my eye, big black wall. I just kind of, okay, coming back. It just knocked me back into like wake up, you know what I mean? But I felt it even. It was pretty strong. Pretty close, pretty strong, you know what I mean? Like, and it was a good whoosh, you know, but that was it. And yeah, but what I was really happy about was I was able to follow along without just taking off, you know, just doing the whole thing, going through all the motions, which was a little more different because I didn't have to focus on doing it. I just did it, you know, that was good.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you're a little bit new at this too, like I used to try too hard to see what people were connecting with. And there's like this threshold in between. If you just sit back and you're too relaxed and you go to, you know, you're not connected, you've got to get nothing. But there's this middle point when you just get in there and it just comes to you. So that's a, yeah, interesting little threshold. I just have with you, Marco, that a couple of things that you might wrestle with from time to time. Look, you and I both know you got a lot of strings to your bow, you know, spiritually and otherwise. And most of the things that you need to wrestle with is just really a state of mind. All right. So I think I still feel you got everything at your fingertips and in your hands to make things work. And the only thing, best quality that you could work with is a little bit of patience as well. But I just feel that, you know, if you're wrestling with something, first thing to do is just change your mindset on it and just explore different ways of accepting or perceiving or working with it. And, you know, you've got a bit of magic in you that you can use to change the vibration of things. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? All right. I can only give you.
You mean energetically?
Well, it's energetically, yeah, but the energetic shift becomes about because of the shift in your own mind and the shift in your own perception of it. And as we change our perception of things, and I get this a little bit in personal relationships as well, if I view the scenario a little bit differently. Now this is okay. I won't go too personal, but I just share a little dream I had. I used to get recurring dreams, and the recurring dream was if I was down near the beach and there was a huge wave coming, and I just knew I had to try and escape the wave. And sometimes it didn't matter how hard I ran or how high I went, the wave would just smash me. And usually within a few days of that, it would mean something emotionally pretty full on is gonna hit me. So a few days ago, I had a dream, and I was out in the water, and I didn't even get to see the wave. It just bang, it hit me. It wasn't that big, but it just pushed me under. And I thought, if I fight this, I'm going to run out of air because I'm just moving at such force through the water. I knew I couldn't get to the surface. And I thought, if I fight this, I'm just going to drown and I'm going to take in a lot of water. And I thought, I've just got to accept this. I just got to lay under the water long enough. I know I can stay under for a fair while. And then at the right time, I knew I just came back to the surface. And what I saw was like a crystalline celestial place, which would be sort of my life on the other side of this experience. Normally, I would, if something like that happened to me, I'd fight it. I'd get upset with it, and I would try and speak. But this time, no, just go zen with it and just allow it. And it's completely changed how I would normally handle a particular situation. Totally changed it. And instead of being wound up and anxious and whatever, no, this is cool. That's fine. It's going to be good, you know. So the situation it's the same. It hasn't changed, but my mindset and my approach and my acceptance of it has actually turned from something extremely unpleasant to something that's really zen-like. And you can do the same when you're wrestling with stuff as well, because there's a time and a place for resolutions, time and a place for outcomes as well. And knowing what something is, and it's a little bit different from just fighting every battle, you know, or meeting everything on the same plane that we habitually meet things with, you know. So it's consciously reconfiguring how we respond to situations. And I feel you can do the same very easily. It's like you meet a frequency with your own frequency and not much happens. You change your frequency, then suddenly you get something very different. You get this harmonization and this interaction and this coming together rather than the boom, boom, boom. And I feel you can do that very readily with any issue that you're going to be wrestling with, either now or in the very short-term period coming up and beyond that. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Jan, you're sitting quietly there, and I actually think you've moved up. You must be pushing your way through the queue there on my screen. You moved up into the gallery a bit. Yeah, and how's it going?
Pretty good actually. When I did the exercise, I saw myself as a crystal in a deep royal blue, and at the core of it was a luminous green. And the message I got was that there are great things to come, and I'm ready for it. And I have been feeling pretty good the past few weeks, the same way, and so that was good. And speaking of rainbows, So then I did a quick scan around everyone, the whole group. And I saw many rainbow lights. There were lights in all sorts of colors, yellow, pink, and blue, and green. And yeah, so it was a pretty rainbow aura that I saw from everyone as well.
Okay. Now, just what you said before, I just had this quick picture of you, and it was like you standing underneath the bridge. And then it quickly changed into that you can be like the bridge. You can make your own bridge, and you can just quickly walk up and walk over the bridge to the other side as well. So you can, it's your own mindset, it's your own power, I guess, that you can be your own bridge across to wherever you want to go. So you can manifest, you can instigate change, and be the bridge. You don't need your spiritual guide or someone else to give you that way. You can find it and make it. There's always a way, so you're in a good zone.
Yeah, I didn't see any of my guides this time. They were not around.
Oh, they're usually
But
there.
I felt okay, but they were just not there. And it felt like they were telling me, like, you can do this on your own, like what you said.
Yeah, you can. Look, I just think they're sitting back there with Roni and I having a nice coffee, watching you do your thing, and they're pretty happy with what you're doing. I reckon that's more the go, but they'll step in when they need to, that's for sure. They're there. Okay, let's see who we got. Everyone else has got their camera off. I don't like picking people who've got cameras off. But I am going to pick on Vanessa because she's escaped my gaze quite a bit over recent weeks, pretending she's at work at 4 in the morning or whatever it is. Vanessa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, how'd you go?
Good. Sorry, I just heard my name. I was like, what?
Oh, we've been talking about you for hours.
Sorry.
Yeah, did you do the visualization of being outside of yourself looking back in at yourself?
No, sorry. I got distracted.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're off the hook again. It looks like just on the back of your screen, it looks like a little rainbow trying to go across your virtual background.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not quite there. Anyway, you got the rainbow colors.
Yeah, it's Pride Month here in Canada.
Yeah. Anyway, Vanessa was with us a couple of days ago and gave her a short reading, and nothing's changed from that, Vanessa. So, and keep finding that bubbliness within you and enjoy that good, happy vibes. Because they haven't always been there over the past 6 months or so, but just keep, enjoy something that's got a bit of comedy to it, something that's very upbeat, and just get that vibe back into you, and that'll carry you into the future with whatever else comes your way. Nothing stays bright and cheery and bubbly 100% of the time, all the time. Right? So stock up. It's like your summer sale over there, stock up while it's available and cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. Violet, have you put your 2 bobs worth in? Yeah, that's an Australian expression. Not sure if you guys know what that is. Yeah, Violet, how did you go?
I had trouble getting into it too. I was feeling distracted the whole way through. So my mind was just all over the place, which is unusual for me when I'm trying to meditate. So it was not a good day for me. But I guess when I was looking down on myself, basically what I saw was inconsistency, which makes sense. I always have too much juggling going on. So that makes sense. I'm just always busy, and never enough time for everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, even before you said that, what I was getting here is like distilling what's in your day. So it's like they want you to be a little bit more brutal as to what is urgent and important, and things which aren't, just put them in the recycling bin for a little bit to clear that space around you. So it's one thing to be busy, but it's very important for you to be clear when you're busy as well. So you've got the clarity, how would you say, within the busyness to make it right, rather than just going round and round. Do you know the difference?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I've been
Yeah.
getting that, kind of message too about prioritizing and just getting my mind clear.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm with you. There's not enough hours in the day. And I reckon I'm from Mars. I reckon I need, like 30 hours in the day, not 24. I think it got ripped off here coming to Earth with only 24 hours in a day, So, so just be brutal with it and try and give yourself that bit more space. In your energy system, it's just not so much the time in your day, it's the space in your energy system, that clarity that can then make you work more efficiently and then take on more. It's like going to a smorgasbord and not trying to eat the whole smorgasbord in one go, but just doing a little nibble with the filter on, with the blinkers on, and coming back to your second favorite and then your third favorite. Okay, so Mari's there. Mari, are you with us? Are you in the zone?
Hi, I'm
G'day.
here.
How'd you go?
Hi, it's going well, thanks. Yeah,
Mhm.
and the journey was good. I met she never seems to be 5 years old though. She appeared to be older.
Yeah.
She wanted to be older. And my spirit guide was there with me. And it was good. It's all good.
All right.
Very positive.
Your mum wants to tell you something, Mari. I'm not sure if she's on this side or the other side, but she wants you to, it's like a little bit of care for yourself on two levels. It's a little bit like I'm taking, look, I don't sort of do this stuff myself, but it's like I'm giving myself, like putting a cleanser or something through my face. So on a physical level, I'm rejuvenating my skin or my appearance with whatever. But the other thing that I'm doing is as I'm doing it, I'm consciously taking away, removing my old facade or my own concern about how people might see me. And it's like we all, particularly in our workplaces, I used to work in corporate. I used to wear a mask to work and pretend I'm this corporate conservative kind of guy. They never liked people who had long hair and played in rock bands like I used to do. Like we weren't any good, but that wasn't the image that they wanted. And I got told that. So I now got to peel off that mask that they wanted me to wear. I've got to peel off the mask that people in my family want me to wear. I've got to peel off the mask that someone else, and now just take it all away and allow my own self to just shine through and be present. So it's not like the exfoliating treatment or the skin spa is actually going to do a lot for you, but it's almost like a ritual. And if you do something like each night, every day I wash my face, and I usually put a little bit of coconut oil on if I've been out in the ocean or in the cold, because it takes all the moisture out of my skin. But often when I do that, I wash, and so I'm washing away all the hassle from today, all the muck and mud from all the astrality of the day, and now I'm protecting myself and I'm clear to go. So that's what it just feels like a message from your mum. She's sort of the motherly care factor kicking in for you. So does that make sense?
Very interesting. Thank you. Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Sylvia, are you tuned in? Well, just on that, Jan.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Just before that, Jan. Jan, thank you for the compliment. Now, I do want to say a couple of things to that, because I have done that for a long, long time, where I'm literally washing away the astral emotional dust from the days. It never works perfectly, by the way, but symbolically it does. And then, the salt water where I live, but not everyone's got access to that, but also the right food and lots of, keeping my body hydrated. So I actually turned 60 in a couple of weeks. So that's I think I carry it pretty well for my years, but it's taken a bit of work, and just the meditation as well. And I think some of the energy work that we do here, I think it actually makes you look younger. And if you Google stuff up online like that, it's something that people often say they've observed that with people. So, by the time I hit 80, I might run up my own cosmetic surgery kind of spiritual energy shop, consultant, make some money out of spirituality for change. Anyway, Syl, back to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've got the camera off because I'm still in bed, a bit sick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still, oh gosh, I've been coughing so much. Yeah, so I'm just here lying and listening. Yeah, I always see myself with a lot of free spirit in me, and a lot of freedom. It's almost like a crave for freedom, a crave for like doing things on my own without, just my own decisions, my views. I do listen to a lot of people all the time, but then at the end, I just make my decision. And I carry a lot of, I feel there's a lot of white around me. And I attribute that to morals, because there's a lot of things that I wouldn't do. Morals, it's a big thing for me, whether I carry that from another life or not. I'm not sure, but it's the free spirit and the morals and the whiteness around me. I think I've been sent with a special mission. And it's this, I know sometimes it looks like it's all about me, but it's not about me. It's about others all the time. And that's when I suffer, because I always put myself, somehow I end up damaged myself, because I'm always, trying to help other people. And then I realize, gosh, it's almost like I need the energy to come back to me, and it's too late because I've given that energy out. That's how I felt. Yeah.
And it was the other, just on that too, was a realization during the week that usually when things happen to us, and whether it's from friends or family or whatever, we generally only look at it from our own point of view. We never look at it from the point of view of the potential spiritual learning or wisdom from the other person as well, and what's going on their life journey. So it's not always about us. So I can agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, anyone who's got a set of cards there, if you would just out the corner of your eye, without sort of preempting too much, just draw a very, almost a subconscious link with someone else on screen without sort of worrying about exactly who it is, and having a bit of a shuffle and drawing out a card for them. And we can help each other out on the interpretation of the card if need be. But we'll just share it around and see what we come up with. So this is a chance for each of you to tap in to the same card for that same person and develop your intuition a little bit. So if you're given something, please give it, and that gets the connection flowing. So anyone who's got a card and someone picked out, just give me a wave. A couple of people shuffling away. Well, Violet, would you like to choose someone first? I can't quite tell who else has cards. I know Angela's got some, but all right, Sherry, are you good to go, Sherry?
I'm good to go. And it's
Okay.
interesting that you would say to do that, because when everybody was sharing, I did pull a card, and I actually pulled a couple of cards. When Yan was talking, she was talking about a crystal, and I pulled the Wonders card, which I thought was really, really interesting for her because she was describing the blues. And I also pulled the Community card, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a rainbow on it. So we are definitely, this is a community collective card as far as I'm concerned, just confirming that, you know, this is a special community, and, you know, we are sharing our spiritual journey from all over the world. And I just loved all of the butterflies on it as well. This rainbow is going through the forest, and even though these trees are not connected, they are connected by their root systems, and they are all in flight. So we are all in flight. I just thought that was pretty cool.
Okay.
The crystal card that you pulled, that's exactly what it looked like.
I love spirit. It's so awesome.
Okay, so well, that one hit the mark. And again, I like this idea of it being a like a community card as well. And I just want to, this is some homework I want to set for each of you this week. And it's like when something happens, it's not always about us, it's about the community, it's about the other people who are around us as well. So anything that's going on for you this week, step outside of yourself and then have a look at the other person, have a look at yourself, and just try and put the bigger picture, put the community picture together, and see if that shifts the way that you work and the way that you work spiritually as well. So there's a little bit of selflessness that comes into it, but it doesn't mean to disregard yourself either, but it's just to be objective with these things. All right. Who would like to go next?
Look, I just wanted to show everyone, look what I pulled. Rainbows again.
All right.
This is a, can you see it?
Yeah, are your virtual, just there, yes, your virtual background plays havoc with it a bit, but that's perfect right there.
Yeah, it's a Dreams of Gaia deck, and this is equivalent to a 10 of Wands with all the chakras there. So yeah.
Did you pull that with another person in mind?
No, just the whole group in general.
Right.
It dropped out actually when Sherry was talking.
Okay, so it's like you tapped into the same vibe there. That's cool. Okay. Angela, did you give me a wave just before? Yeah, so yeah, jump in.
Hello. I pulled a couple of cards for a couple of different people that I was drawn to. So the first one was Roni. This is the Awakening card. Beautiful card. And it says energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. What this says to me is that it feels like there's something trying to call you back to something, very feminine energy, to help embrace that divine feminine energy that you are totally got already. But this card is telling me that that's where you're going to find, you said before about your power, you step into your power. That's where you're going to find it coming through. I don't know whether you have an ancestral connection to any feminines in your bloodline that were maybe into some healing kind of arts, but it's all about the moon goddess energy. I don't know if that relates to you, whatever, but have faith, because these energetic upgrades that you're going through are just part of your journey, and sometimes they feel like they're going to be difficult. Maybe that's why you've been getting some pain, headaches, etc., but it's all part of your process. And if you can learn to just embrace, you said something about toxicity. This card, it just feels like something's pulling you up, like out of the trenches. You know what I mean? Like away from that.
You're so on.
Yeah, can you relate to that?
Yes, completely.
Awesome. And like you are.
Thank you.
Something else I saw with you when we just first came out of the meditation, I didn't say it at the time, was you've got this golden light in your aura, this really gold energy, almost like royalty, like that queen energy. So I don't know where that's coming from or whether you relate to that, but never forget who you are. Don't forget who you are.
Do you know that my son, he calls me queen?
Really?
He calls me queen, and I say, no, I'm princess.
No, you're a queen, girl. You're a total queen. Embrace
But
it.
that's what he calls me
That's
queen
amazing.
all the time. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're very supported. So you just trust yourself more.
Thank you.
The next card I got was for Sherry. Yeah, Sherry with the blue sky. And that card is don't dim to fit in. This is a really powerful card. It's saying you've got a very powerful energy around you, but it's almost like you're afraid to shine too brightly because you don't want to scare people off or hurt people or whatever it is. You've got a lot of power inside you. So this is the time. This is the time that we're in the whole cycle of things. If people can't handle your shine, they can't handle your light, then that's their problem and their journey. You don't have to dim yourself to fit in. Just keep being that strong goddess energy. Look, you've got the guides surrounding you. You're supported, you're protected. Just shine on, girl. Yeah, let all those mountains crumble that are holding you back from being in your true power. Yeah? Yeah. Does that make sense?
You nailed it.
All right, cool.
Nailed it.
Who else did I get? Stephanie. Stephanie? Yeah, Stephanie. It's funny that this card came out for you because what I saw when we came out of meditation was your aura was a very deep purple, almost plum color. And it was saying to me, it felt like your crown chakra was maybe slightly blocked because it was a bit of a muddy purple energy rather than being a really glowing energy. And then this card has a lot of those colors in it. I don't know if you can see that. It's called the crumbling. It's like you're going through some tough stuff at the moment, or you're about to go into a place that is going to be a bit difficult. You've got the towers here, the dark, kind of the dark side without it being dark, but that is part of your growth. It's part of your progress. And you've got to keep remembering what's on the other side. And when you feel like everything is getting on top of you and you feel like your world is almost crumbling, you have to hold on to this vision of what's to come. Because as you said, you had 2 children. So imagine you've been through the process of giving birth, and you know that all the pain that comes with that and the hardship that comes with that process. But what do you get on the other end of it? You get to hold those beautiful, beautiful life in your hands. So never forget what's on the other side. Keep that vision. Don't let your vision dim. And the last one I got was for Roger.
Ah, thank you.
Which is amazing that this came out, and you were talking a lot about the ocean, and you were talking about your connection to the water and all that kind of stuff. And this card has got the ocean in it. It's called the Pleiades. So I'm not sure if you connect in with the galactic energies a lot.
They come through and do some of the channeling work with us.
Well, there you go. And well, the card says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So to me, that just says they're with you and they're reaching out to you more and saying, hey, work with us, work with us, work with us. Like, this is the time we're in, that the galactic energy needs to be brought down to Earth. We need to be the bridge between the galactic beings and the Earth beings, you know? And they're here to help you process a lot of your, there's a bit of fear surrounding it sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've
had
a bit of maybe some bad experiences with some of the galactic races or some of the ones that aren't so good. I'm not sure, but they're there to help you. There's a lot of benevolence coming through from these guides.
It's more the Earth stuff that's knocked me around, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, yeah.
You know, people
Release
who like
the
chopping
fear
heads off.
and rise up and shine like the beautiful star child you are.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And
No
look,
worries.
the other image of that, just hold it up again.
Yes.
This is something I saw just this morning. You see how the people there are like they're standing vertically and they're kind of floating. I saw a picture this morning of how whales sleep, and they sleep vertically, and they only sleep for about 15 minutes at a time, but they're probably connected galactically during that sleep. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good one.
Oh, that's so good. You connected with it.
And you know what?
Letting me share.
And you know what, Angela, I'm going to say this, but you know why you've gone into other groups and they've sort of had this resistance and so forth, and you weren't quite embraced by them? The reality is because you're connected and they're not, and they don't like that. All right. So
Okay.
you are, and I know there's a certain, because I've been in a number of groups in Melbourne myself, and I know there's a certain limitation with some of them, and you're outside of that, and you're on the money. So well done, girl, and really thanks for coming on here and sharing.
Love.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me in this group. It's really, I'm enjoying this.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, thank you for sharing. All right. Vanessa's battery died, but you're back. A few people dropping in and out today, so that's the way it goes. All right. Anyone else who has had something for someone? Let's see. Roni has a headache, or the lack of headache, hopefully.
I'm good now.
All right. Okay. Anyone here who's feeling any physical stuff from the week? Stomach upsets, headaches, sore foot, anything? Anyone got anything happening that we can help out with?
I have a tummy ache
All right.
all of a sudden.
All
Yeah,
right.
interesting. On my left side, I never get that.
All right. Well, close your eyes, Mari. And what we will each do, we'll all close our eyes actually. And let's call Mari or her guide into our focus, into our group focus, because we're each in our sacred space, but as most of you know, our sacred spaces are all connected up to source anyway. We're all sitting in the same big temple, essentially, a holy temple, and we're all in this group and Mari's there. And we're just drawing Mari into our focus. And some of you might see the cause of this. It might be a little shift emotionally that needs to occur, or mentally. But in the meantime, let's see if we can collectively send healing to Mari. So it could be on a mental level, emotional level, or physical level, but just ask if you can send her some help. Be aware if anyone seems to be linking in with you, if you can feel a presence of a helper. All right. And now we'll just work with Mari and on whatever frequency. Mari, just absorb whatever's coming towards you. Be aware of vibrations coming your way. Okay, and we'll just let that take its course. So just keep absorbing that, Mari. And is there someone else who needs a little boost? Just give us a heads up. Okay, Sherry. Anything in particular or just a general?
I've been having some neck and shoulder issues, just tension and tightness.
Yep. All right, let's see what we can do for Sherry. So again, we're in the Holy Temple, and I'm closing my eyes again. We're all in the Holy Temple, and I'm just bringing Sherry into our focus, like she's standing in the center of the room. And we can see almost like the physical complaint, but then her emotional body her mental and spiritual dimensions are before us. It's almost like a hologram, and we can work with it. So keep drawing that in, Sherry. I'm going to come back to Mari for a moment because I had a little message for Mari that kicked in. And Mari, I felt that there was a little bit of weight on your shoulders that was weighing you down a little bit. And in particular, I felt that there has been someone who's been in your ear a bit, so to speak, putting a few expectations and a few demands or whatever upon you. And I was helping to relieve that, and also reminding me that there's a time and a place for yeses and no's, and for other people to have a bit of patience as well. So not to take on too much, because I feel that just caused a bit of angst, and that's been a little source of the tension in the tummy as well. Anyone else who's got a message for Mari, just if you've got anything, just click in and fire away. Just with you, Sherry, I had here that part of the tension is a little bit to do with your own will in wanting to get something done. And it's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get it done. And you really want to get it done. So everything sort of tightens a little bit. But if you can be conscious enough when doing it and just realize, hey, this is going to get done. And it's probably going to get done just as quick as I relax, and allow your body just to be more relaxed with it, because it's more just your will and your drive, I feel, that's causing this. Does that make sense?
That makes absolute sense. It makes absolute sense. And yes, you're right. Tensing up doesn't help, and it's all going to get done when it gets done.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm fighting with dodgy video editing software, which I have no end of wrestles with, but I just got to let it go a bit, you know, test out my vocab now and then, but you know. Okay, message for Angela to everyone. I kept getting drumming with Maori, a low drum beat, very tribal and earthy, speaks to me. Oh, hang on, my chat just moved. Angela, do you just want to read that out, Angela?
Okay. When we were focusing on Maori, I just kept getting drumming, like very tribal, low earthly drumming, boom, boom, boom. And that kind of spoke to me about grounding yourself, which perhaps listening to shamanic drumming sounds would help to clear those lower chakras and shift that pain that you're feeling. Yeah.
Thank you so much, all of you. I actually already feel better by just realizing that I need to say no. And my 23-year-old daughter it's been a yes, 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 yes. And I need to now say no. So this is good. Thank you so much.
Mari, it will actually please your daughter for you to say no when the time is right to say no. Okay, it will actually please her. And it'll make her realize, look, my mum's actually a wise person. She knows how to use discretion rather than just giving herself away. And she'll have more respect for you as a person when you exercise the right discretion. Do you get it?
Thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. And I got to do it in the right expression. That's because she really resonates with that better than anything else. So yeah, thank you.
All right. Now, Violet drew a card for Yan. I'm not sure if you saw that, Yan, in the chat. And for Stephanie, I'm just reading back through them now. And if anyone's got any feedback on the cards that are in the chat, just feel free to click on.
I would like to say that birds they are very symbolic for me. I definitely resonate with that. It's interesting because that's come up several times in the last few weeks in other groups that I've been working with on mediumship development and people tapping into my field. They always tell me, you have all these birds around you. And I have these crows that I've developed a relationship with in my yard, but birds all the time, hummingbirds and crows. And yeah, I feel like sometimes like I'll be having a thought about like whether to make a move, and then something will catch my eye and I'll look and I'll see the crow fly right past the window. So that's always my sign that I'm on the right track. So thank you for that.
Okay, now we should bring ourselves to a close, unless anyone's been holding back with anything. Not nice to hold back. Spirit gives you something, you've got to share it. All right, let's just close our eyes. We're just going to just close ourselves back down energetically so we don't absorb too much in that big wide world out there still. We don't want to be taking in too much of the world's negative energy. So we've got to protect ourselves a bit. So as we close our eyes, first of all, it's a moment of gratitude. First of all, a moment of gratitude for each of you being on here and also sharing too. So Angela, very, very much appreciate it. And Sherry and Roni and Vanessa, everyone who, Jan, everyone, Marco's giving and sharing and giving and taking on here. It's fantastic. But also a moment of gratitude to our own spiritual guides who've been working with us, and the healing guides as well, who, you know, each time we work with our guides to heal, we get better at it as well. So thanking them, because we're all connected. And also gratitude for being in an intelligent and responsive universe that we can actually do these things and heal each other. And great divine spirit, we give our thanks, our love, appreciation for all that has been provided with us, with your presence and with the work behind the scenes of the other divine celestial beings who hold the space that we're able to connect through. So just our moment of appreciation. And now put your hands over your solar plexus, sacral chakra area, and we're just going to take in a big long breath and hold our breath. Fill the diaphragm right up. Imagine your sacral chakra reducing in size and speed back to where it was, so we're not taking too much in. And on the out breath, I'm releasing all emotional and psychic connections that no longer serve my higher good. And I'm actually using my hands to cut the cords as I do that. I'm severing all psychic and emotional connections that do not serve my higher good. And wrapping myself in a bubble of protective light, but also to hold in all the goodness from what we've just manifested. So people in the Northern Hemisphere, take this into your sleep. Don't go turning on horror movies and drama movies right now. Try and keep the good stuff in your auric field for your sleep. And people down south here in Sydney, Melbourne, we can take the good vibes out into the world. And
Thank you. Have a great week.
Soon.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.